Welcome, 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 my dear brothers and sisters, our distinguished guests. Very, extremely grateful to be in your presence, to have the opportunity to share with you extremely vital knowledge. Your being here motivates me to share all this information, so you're the partial source of my inspiration to deliver this material to you, to those watching on DVD, and to the world. The title of today's lecture is called Dr. Nerenberg's Healthy Sugar, Sweet Day, and Power Sugar. A sugar that's not only not bad for you, but it's healthy. Healthy in the following ways. Diabetics can have it without getting an insulin spike or a glucose spike, because the sugar is a low glycemic index sugar. It's extremely healthy for the heart and the cardiovascular system. Energizes the musculature, will increase endurance and strength. And if somebody has heart issues or it's not functioning properly, it will assist it in functioning more regularly and more powerfully. Even if they have congestive heart failure, it will help. It's that powerful a sugar. Unlike sucrose, the table sugar that we have, that's made from beets or made from cane sugar, it doesn't promote cavities. It prevents cavities. Good for the oral health. A sugar that can do that. Not only that, it's antibacterial. It will actually help clear up or prevent infections of the throat and ear. That's how amazing this sugar is. Furthermore, it will help with weight loss. Imagine a sugar that will help with weight loss. These are amazing characteristics of it. The patent that I have that's been pending, will be approved in the next 3 months, as a patent of a blend. So it's a blend of sugars. One of the components, xylitol, is already used commercially on a limited basis in some products. So there has been already some commercialization, and I'm going to show you those products. We're also going to be tasting the sugar. In reality, there are 4 sugars. There's Sweet Day, and all have the same components but different proportions. Sweet Day, Power Sugar, Cinnamon Sweet Day, and Cinnamon Power Sugar. The great news about this sugar is it tastes wonderful, and there's no aftertaste. It is not a synthetic sugar. Some of the artificial sweeteners that have been there in the past, such as saccharin, have been even implicated in carcinogenic activities, promotion. These sugars, the xylitol and D-ribose, I want to tell you how natural they are. This is going to surprise you. It can't get more natural. You know why? Your body produces xylitol. Your body produces D-ribose. Now, truthfully, can you get more natural than that? Sugars that your body produces. Your body does not produce sucrose, which is a 6-carbon sugar. Both the sugars, the D-ribose and xylitol, are both 5-carbon sugars. They cannot be fermented. The xylitol cannot be fermented. So therefore, your pH will rise. Instead of being acidic, the bacteria can't digest it in your mouth. The xylitol prevents infections because the bacteria can't get a hold on the lining of mucous linings. So we talk about natural, you can't get more natural than this. It's impossible to get more natural than that. The xylitol is made typically from birch, but all flowers and vegetables have it. The D-ribose is derived from glucose. Third component we put in there, silicon dioxide, which is good for hair, nails, and skin, and also keeps them kegging up, although today's samples don't even have that. because such small quantities we're not concerned about the kegging effect. 35% less calories, and it's equally sweet to sucrose on a one-to-one basis. 1 teaspoon of cane sugar is equally sweet to sweet day. Now, when you have one sugar that can do all this, you might ask the question, well, how come it's not been out there, not been used? The D-ribose has not gotten a lot of promotion. It's known in alternative medicine circles. The xylitol is known. It's been used in Finland during the war when they couldn't get sucrose. Finland used it in mass quantities. Today, you have, because the xylitol has antibacterial, I'm going to show you some products that are on the market. Biotine. It's a mouth rinse. I'm going to take one product after the other and show it to you. Now, I'm not here to promote Biotine. I'm only here to show you that xylitol is one of the primary components. Helps dissolve plaque. Biofilm. Helps dissolve plaque. So that's the advertised one. It's for dry mouth. If your mouth is dry, that's more dangerous in terms of oral health. So you already have a product. And we're not talking going to your local health food store. We're talking going mainstream, Rite Aid. Okay? Rite Aid. Now you can go to a health food store and even get a gum called a natural enzyme protection, dry mouth gum. Effectively helps to reduce odor-causing bacteria and oral dryness, Biotine gum. Now this gum has xylitol in it. You're more likely to find this in a health food store, but other stores will have it. Xylitol, already commercially available in terms of a gum. Delicious. Now, if you want to go more mainstream, you want to go to Rite Aid. We have different flavored gums. Spry Spearmint, xylitol gum. It says right there, xylitol. Rite Aid. Now, we're talking mainstream. You don't get more mainstream than Rite Aid. I'm not here to promote any store. I have no stock holdings in these organizations. I'm just letting you know that it's that mainstream. Here's the point. When I asked the cashier and workers at Rite Aid, I want this gum with xylitol. Guess what? Well, what is xylitol? So the staff does not know that there is such a thing. It's on the shelves, but it's not getting much publicity. You have different flavors. It's not just one flavor. Here's Cool Citrus. Everybody's heard of Trident gum. Trident gum. Everybody knows the Trident gum. But not everybody knows you can get Trident gum with xylitol. If you go in any store and you say, I want your gum with xylitol, 99% of staff won't know what you're talking about. So even though I've told you it's going mainstream, people are still ignorant about these components. I'm sure if you went to the pharmacist, there's more of a likelihood that he'll know, but I can't guarantee it. Now, another Trident gum, Extra Care. Another Trident gum. Again, do you have any gum with xylitol? Gee, what is xylitol? I have to go, and I found them. And there are many other flavors, including watermelon flavors I've had in the past. Now, Biotine, now you have toothpaste. Reduces bacteria and gum irritations due to dry mouth. Biotine toothpaste. Mainstream Rite Aid. So in answer to the question, how come nobody knows about it? The truth of the matter is they know about one of them, xylitol. There have been over 1,500 studies on xylitol. There have been many studies on D-ribose, but it hasn't reached the general public yet. It has to do with finances. Biotine. Talk to people. How many people ever heard of a mouth rinse or a gum with xylitol? Practically nobody. It's on the market. Here's one you need to get at a health food store. It's not mainstream. It's called X-Clear. Nasal spray with xylitol. Nasal spray with xylitol. Why in the world would anybody want to shoot up their nostrils a sugar? Why in the world would anybody want to shoot up their nose with sugar? Why would somebody want to snort xylitol? Why? It helps clear out the bacteria off the nostrils. They can't get a hold in there. It'll help prevent ear infections that children suffer from, help prevent dramatically ear infections. throat infections, because it's the nose that's vulnerable once it gets in the nose. The germs can't live in there when the xylitol is there. They can't get a hold on anything. They just slip out. So the antibacterial quality of xylitol is so powerful that you can't develop a resistant strain like you can with antibiotics. See, antibiotics, after a while, the strains of bacteria become resistant. You get mutations, and it won't work on them. This, they do not build up resistance. Why? Because it doesn't kill them. They just can't multiply. It creates a hostile environment for the bacteria. Antibacterial without producing resistant bacteria. That's the good news, the xylitol. Again, we're talking mainstream. Now, if you go to a health food store, you can get even a little book on xylitol. But guess what? You can't find one on D-ribose. D-ribose has not yet made its appearance. It'll show up in scientific literature. It'll show up even in bodybuilding and powerlifting publications. And at the end today, I'm going to give people samples to taste. We're going to do taste tests because, as I said, the great thing about this, there are many health food things around. A lot of them taste terrible. The testing we did, people liked it better than cane sugar, as much or better. And I'm going to give you a little clue what's going to happen. When my partner and I put it in people's hands, and we ask them to taste it, rather just taste it and go like that, what did they do? They tasted it, and then they went and kept licking their hands. They could say whatever, but they went to finish licking their hands. So we know that was a true taste test, and you'll do the same when you taste it. It's that delicious, you don't want to waste it. No aftertaste. That's the good news on that. No aftertaste. So therefore, now we've shown some of the commercial aspects of the xylitol. Now, D-ribose can be purchased in bottles, very expensive when you buy it in stores. Now, we have the Sweet Day. It'll dissolve beautifully in hot beverages, such as a coffee or a hot tea. Sweet Day will dissolve beautifully. But it will not dissolve readily in a cold beverage. So if it goes into manufacture with cold beverages, it will sink to the bottom. People just have to shake it and then drink it. It's been delicious. We've had it tested in ice cream. It was superb. We've had it tested in other kind of cream for cream puffs. It was magnificent. When it's used in pastries, the baker has to learn how to work the ovens. They have to make the temperature lower and bake it longer. Why? Sweet Day has a lower melting point. So if they go at the typical temperatures that they have with sucrose, they'll burn it. So they have to learn how to do that with their ovens to work with this. Also, it does not mix, since it can't be fermented, it cannot mix with yeast. So in terms of bread, it will not work in bread or anything that requires yeast. And since it doesn't crystallize, you can't make hard candies out of it. It still leaves a wide range of pastries, crackers. It can be put in baked beans. When you're grilling, it could be used on the meats. Why does it promote weight loss? Well, it's 35–40% less calories, but also because it goes through the digestive tract and enters the bloodstream more slowly, it leads to more of a sense of fullness, more satiation. People are more satiated under it. So you're looking at a low glycemic index. Sucrose is about like 100 glycemic index. This is 7. It doesn't rapidly just flood your bloodstream. You don't get an insulin spike. That's why it's good for diabetics. It's also good for diabetics because many diabetics have cardiovascular complications. And these cardiovascular complications can be well addressed through the D-ribose component. Dr. Stephen Sinatra, the leading cardiologist in the world in alternative medicine, wrote a book called The Sinatra Solution. The leading cardiologist, MD, in the world in alternative medicine. He refers to the awesome 4 for the heart. coenzyme Q10, magnesium, L-carnitine, and the fourth that he came up with after many years, D-ribose. He calls it the awesome four. He started seeing amazing results with his patients when he introduced that fourth component. He said he wished he had known about it earlier. He could have helped many more people who have heart issues. So you have major physicians. We have a whole booklet on all the research. You have Dr. Sinatra, who says it's diabetic friendly. You have Dr. Kass, who's an MD, also well known in the research area, telling us it's diabetic friendly. The component D-ribose will actually cause a momentary lowering of the blood sugar. So not only does it increase it, it may momentarily lower it. Xylitol won't do that, but the D-ribose component will. Now, you have some other sugars in the market that are healthy. See, we're saying when you get other sugars with 0 calories, this has calories, 0 calories, they don't claim that they're healthy. They just say it'll assist weight loss, it won't add to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and so forth. Oh, by the way, I should mention that the cane sugar, that the sucrose, actually promotes cardiovascular disease when taken in excess, as we do in our country and Western world at this time. Actually, and it's more than the Western world. India has a major problem with it as well. Promotes cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer. Cancer feeds on that sugar. Cancer feeds on the 6-carbon sugar of sucrose. It feeds on it. You starve a cancer if you don't give it the sugar. And the sugar also promotes cavities and plaque, periodontal disease. So the major disease we have of cardiovascular, heart, oral health, obesity are all taken care of here. Now, the synthetic sugars don't have the calories, but as time goes by, we find problems with them. And so then there are major lawsuits against not only the manufacturer from the harm done, but anybody who uses it in their products. So if you're a major soft drink manufacturer, you had one of these synthetic sugars, and then later turns out to be damaging, you have a lawsuit too. People ask me, well, is this FDA approved? And I always say yes, but the truth of the matter is, getting FDA approval is like getting FDA approval on a carrot, or on blueberries, or on an apple. You don't have to get FDA approval on making, if you're promoting, say this will cure the heart, this is a medication. You don't need it. This is a natural food. I told you how natural it is. Your body produces both of these sugars. So Dr. Sinatra talks about the awesome four, and the D-ribose is one of those. So you can see between the two, you have it covered. Now, I myself am a world champion powerlifter and bodybuilder. I took the title when I was 65 as strongest man in the world for my age and my weight. And I took the title Mr. Universe Street Physique, most powerful physique in the world for my age and weight. These sugars, when I first took, and I was looking for sugars that taste good, I always like mixing things. My background's in psychology, but I have a strong interest in nutrition and health. So then when I added this sugar to coffee, I was so, the only word I can tell you is buzzed. I was so energized, my strength went way up. We know that caffeine will do that in itself, but then when you add the power sugar is a much higher percentage of the D-ribose than Sweet Day. The energizing effect is felt immediately. You don't have to wait. You can conquer anything when you have that. The other market that on sugar is stevia, which is known to be actually healthy. Quite frankly, it has a bad aftertaste. It is healthy, it has a bad aftertaste if you take it just straight, put it in a tea. So it's better than cane sugar, but it doesn't compare to the Sweet Day. Well, it's a bad aftertaste. You can put it in some coffee and some teas, it won't taste as bad, but you get an aftertaste, and if you take it right in your hand, you're not going to like it. There's some indication some research that actually shows that the xylitol will help prevent osteoporosis. There's research data along those lines coming out. So the research keeps blossoming. Now, when you add cinnamon, because we have the cinnamon sweet day, the cinnamon power sugar, cinnamon also is known to decrease insulin resistance, so it's even better for diabetics. So we're looking at doing something that will revolutionize the sugar industry, something that will add to the health of humankind instead of destroying the health of humankind. This is a very important contribution that we're talking about. It's also great on cereals. You put the cereal, you just put it in there. If you want to have yogurt, you put some yogurt, blueberries, you put in Sweet Day or Power Sugar. Many people like the Sweet Day better than Power Sugar. I like the Power Sugar better. You just put it right in. Rice pudding, tremendous with the Sweet Day and Power Sugar. So we're talking many applications in terms of our everyday life. And you know, in many of our products, including ketchup, there's sugar. They put in sugar. We could be using this sugar, Sweet Day or Power Sugar, enhancing people's health instead of destroying people.
Corn syrup.
You have so many bad syrups. That corn syrup has this. But you know, you have the xylitol, as I said, all living matter has it in there. It's primarily made from the birch, but also a lot of it's made from the corn cob. So it's more eco-friendly. Instead of having to waste the corn cobs, we could be harvesting it not only for biofuel, but we could be using it for the sugars.
That's right.
It's already here. So this gives a summary of some of the factors, and I'm going to leave it open for questions before we go into the really interesting part, which is the taste test, where you're going to be tasting it. We'll be filming your tasting, and you're responding to it. I'm going to open it for any questions that you have about any part about Sweet Day or Power Sugar.
Those sugars mixed at all with any kind of sucrose, or they're just...
Well, now, good question. The question is, can Sweet Day or Power Sugar be mixed with sucrose? Yes, it can. You can mix. As a matter of fact, one of my early applications, I had a cappuccino which had sucrose in it, and I added the Power Sugar. It was, as I said, I was energized, I was buzzed, I was so much more power. So it does mix with sucrose. So if manufacturers want to keep some sucrose in there but cut down the damage they're doing and add health, they can add the Sweet Day or they can add the Power Sugar. Good question.
So this one doesn't have any sucrose at all?
There's no sucrose in this. It's strictly 5 carbon sugars as opposed to sucrose, which is a 6 carbon sugar. It's a different molecular structure.
The body produces it without us intaking it. What is it doing now? Is it just that we don't have enough of, therefore this will be...
Yes. The body produces without us taking it. So a healthy young person, they have plenty of it. But if they want, but if you want extra protection against the bacteria beyond what your body produces, because you're under assault of bacteria or your immune system's compromised, you definitely want the xylitol at that time. Definitely want the xylitol at that time. The D-ribose in trained athletes increases their endurance and their strength above what they're able to produce. Then if a person's cardiovascular system is compromised, then it has a healing effect. So we're talking about promotion of vitality and also healing potentials, actual healing. So it's a sugar that not only does not damage, heals. So we have an energizing factor, a prevention factor, and an actual healing factor. The 3 factors.
Are you not taking the risk that if you take this, your body will start producing that?
Now, there are many substances, if you take it, your body will produce less. This will not interfere with your body's production of it. It's very good questions. When you're taking this Sweet Day, your body will continue to always produce it. And keep in mind, All living cells produce it, all plants produce particularly the xylitol. The D-ribose is extracted from the glucose. Now you had a question.
Dr. Nerenberg, I'm here listening to your lecture. I don't know if I'm listening to a medical thing, how good it is for your body. Also, on the other side, it tastes good.
It tastes
That's-
excellent.
And it's very good for you. But that's sort of the side effect to me.
I think you trace out one also the important point about the D-ribose. The all other sugars, it metabolizes in the liver as a glucose. D-ribose is not metabolized like the other sugar.
That's exactly right. Dr. Conti's point is it's not metabolized as the other sugars in the liver. This is very important, another factor about
Yeah,
the
and
D-ribose.
it is picked up by the blood as D-ribose and goes into the heart muscle pick it up as D-ribose, you know. So each other sugar is pick up the sugar of
It's a
glucose.
different metabolic pathway.
But this one is differently. If you take even more, it won't go your diabetic sugar spike up or anything. But it will be better. It more for the heart muscles is pick it up like that because it doesn't turn into the glucose.
Exactly. It does not. The interesting thing is it's derived from glucose, but it doesn't turn into glucose. A different metabolic pathway completely. Good point, Dr. Conti. Very good point. The other sugars, the synthetic sugars, the artificial sweeteners, do not have health benefits. They do not have health benefits other than they have 0 calories. However, often they turn out later to have health damaging effects, such as carcinogenic effects that some have had in the past. So I don't want to focus on the synthetic sugars. Now, without further ado, I'm going to like to give everybody a taste. I'm going to ask Nancy to please come up. Nancy. So I'm going to ask you to do what we're going to do now. Nancy, just pour a little bit into one person at a time. I want them to taste it. We're going to be filming them. And I'm going to ask what they think of it. So start off this way. We'll start with Dr. Conti and go that way. Yeah. Just pour it in the hand. Yeah. And just pour a little bit in his hand. And then we'll just wait for his response. His honest response. It's all right. There's no such thing as too much.
Very sweet, very nice. Just like a sugar, eating the sugar.
It is a sugar.
We'll see if it's any.
Let's keep going. Marty, taste that. Wait a minute. Don't go yet, Nancy. Nancy, don't go yet. Go ahead.
Just like a sweet. What's the proportion, doctor, in this?
Excuse me? Let's wait and get his response first.
Fresh, sweet taste.
Fresh, sweet taste.
Fresh.
How do you like it?
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Tastes like sugar.
Tastes
Regular
like,
sugar, yeah.
yeah. Tastes like regular sugar. Okay. Give him a good quantity so he can get some kind of taste. Yeah. There you go.
It's even granulated, huh? So that feels the texture really feels like regular.
wonderful.
You like the texture. Wonderful. Now we're hearing the word wonderful. I like that word wonderful. That's what people say, wonderful.
There's no aftertaste or anything. You know, xylitol, if you, not xylitol.
No aftertaste.
You know, the stevia or you think, take that, after that is a little bitter taste, you know.
Yeah.
This is one, this is good taste.
Now,
Oh my, I can eat the sweet now, Indian sweet with this one.
and the sweets.
This tastes like rock candy. It's so
Rock
good.
Rock candy.
Rock candy. Delicious.
Delicious.
So you liked it better than stevia?
Definitely, 100%, yes.
Okay. Now we're going to go, thank you, Nancy, very much. Now we're going to go to Cinnamon Sweet Day. So this has a little pinch of cinnamon in it. Again, the cinnamon changes the flavor, but also adds to the health benefit because cinnamon is very good for lowering insulin resistance. Pass on, take a little bit for yourself. Pour a little bit in your hand and then give it to Dr. Conti. And before you pass it though, just pour, no, don't touch, just pour a little bit.
Cinnamon,
You taste the cinnamon. But how do you like the taste?
Strong cinnamon.
very good. Excellent, relaxing. Very nice,
Relaxing.
yes.
Okay.
You know, the,
Relaxing.
Now who's next? Okay.
No,
Oh, Jesus?
Yeah. Just like a sweet roll.
Sweet roll. That's right. Tastes like cinnamon roll.
That's the, yeah, that's a word for it.
Tastes like a cinnamon roll. You like it? Real good.
And I'm looking for the aroma. Where's the cinnamon?
Yeah.
Now let's
There you go.
taste it. Now
It's very good.
you like you taste it.
This
We
is
got
a rice
to
pudding.
witness you doing it.
This
Yeah.
is-
On rice
Oh,
pudding,
okay,
this would be
wait,
That's how you
excellent.
did it. Already.
This is better.
On rice pudding, it would be
You like this
excellent.
even better.
Cinnamon better.
Yeah.
Very
So the
nice.
cinnamon's
You know,
in it.
this would remind me of the cinnamon roll, and plus, this would go great on a baked apple. I'm sure.
Oh, a baked apple would be perfect.
That's good.
Nancy, have you tasted the cinnamon one?
I have.
How do you
Yeah.
like it?
Yeah, it's good. I really like the cinnamon, especially.
You like the cinnamon even
Yeah,
more?
I don't use sugar at all, so I use cinnamon mostly, and it's good.
And you can use this sugar,
Yeah.
give it to your the family, children. It's actually good for you.
If you use it on the rice pudding, every bite will be with the cinnamon taste.
That's
instead of
right.
just a topping.
You're
That's
right.
right.
Jesus.
So that's a nice.
So the patent covers the cinnamon as well, because the third component could be, it has to be a non-sweetener, which could be silicon dioxide, but it could be a vitamin or an antioxidant, and cinnamon is an antioxidant, has antioxidant qualities. Cinnamon is also, of course, has been around for thousands of years. People know about it. They don't know about D-ribose yet, and most people don't even know about the xylitol yet. So this was a taste here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dissolve it in a drink. We'll bring in a little bit of coffee. We'll sweeten it. Who likes to drink coffee? Okay, you like coffee. You like it black or is it cream? Black? Okay.
Coffee,
But for,
drink coffee.
doesn't, but you drink coffee at all? Any who else drinks coffee? So we have two coffees. You like black, okay?
Yes.
Okay, 2 black coffees, just a little bit in a cup.
Okay, no problem.
All right, 3. Bring in 3 black coffees, please. Taste it.
Yes, sir.
It's good.
No aftertaste. It's excellent. Yeah.
This is wonderful. Yeah,
Tastes wonderful.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah.
Taste the coffee. I mean, you taste basically you taste the coffee. You don't
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
the
that's
sugar
like,
that
you
much.
know,
Okay, now, I see now, can you get see now in there? Is he coming in? So he's pouring the whole packet in, which is the way to do it.
Coffee now. I don't know what I was missing the.
I don't want to make I want to make a sugar user out of you, not a coffee drinker.
It's good in tea, too.
It's sweet and it's clean. There's no lingering and aftertaste.
Yeah.
Very clean and
Clean is good. Clean is
And it
good.
really does
Clean's a
dissolve.
good word for it.
It does. It does really dissolve without stirring. There's no residue.
No residue, dissolves right away. That's a good one. No residue, it dissolves. In a hot beverage, it will dissolve.
It's not like the sugar. It
Yeah.
goes in.
It
And we didn't even
dissolves.
stir it. All we did
Yeah.
was just.
Without stirring, it dissolved. A hot beverage, it will. A cold beverage, it won't. It'll stay in for a while, you shake it up and drink it.
Yeah, no residue.
and I poured the whole packet.
You poured the whole packet. Clean is the word.
But actually, if
Clean.
you just put it just a little bit, you don't need too much
Yeah,
of it.
but I wanted to see if I put a table. I assumed that was 1 or 2 tablespoons. Max, I go 2 tablespoons. I want to see what it'd be. And the impression, the first thing that came to my mind, clean. It's like a Chateau Yquem wine, which is a sweet Sauterne wine. It's world famous because once you drink it, it's clean, and that's where it came from.
Now, do you still have any coffee left?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Would you like to try some with the cinnamon sugar in it? You still have sugar? You still have coffee left, Dr. Conti?
Yes, little.
All right. Let me try it with the cinnamon sugar.
He's trying to
It
get
will
to
be
it.
coffee with
Here.
cinnamon.
I'll
huh?
give it to
Just pour some in. This, he likes the cinnamon.
Just the noise.
This will taste better.
You like it better because you like this. Because a sweet
It
day,
even tastes better, you
because
said.
you like cinnamon.
Yes.
You like the
Yes,
cinnamon
yes.
taste to it. We're now going to put cinnamon sweet day into the coffee, as we did with Dr. Conti. We're going to do that with Jesus and with now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go first with Jesus.
Morning.
Tastes good. You could still say there's cinnamon. Yeah.
You like it? You like it?
He likes that. Okay, now
This,
You use a good cinnamon in there.
it's a good
Really
cinnamon.
good.
Yeah, you're right. You're very discerning.
Very
That's an organic
good.
cinnamon.
I sometimes I use a lot of cinnamon.
I do
But
too.
not like this, just little
It's a
bit.
good
gives
combo.
good
It's a
taste,
good
you know.
combo.
Now,
The cinnamon is very complimentary to the coffee, and you think you're drinking a baked apple. I hate it, and it's wonderful.
now what we're going to do is we're going to go to my favorite. In fact, I'm going to have some right now. Power sugar.
Sour sugar.
What's the difference between regular and the powder?
My favorite's power sugar. Now, the power sugar,
It's a D-ribose, huh?
power sugar has a greater percentage of the D-ribose. So it's going to energize the musculature. It's going to add to energy, power, endurance. In fact, I'm going to take some more. I like it so much. I happen to like the power sugar myself. So I'm going to pass this around. Well, that is good. Now, before the next one, let's see Dr. Conti's reaction to it.
You know,
Instant sweet.
Instant.
It's still
Instant
sweet.
sweet.
Instantly sweet. It's a power sugar.
It has a kick.
A good kick, a bad kick. How do you like the kick? You like a good kick?
D-ribose, you know,
Good kick.
I take in my sometimes, you know, the food. It's just like, yeah,
How do you like it?
it's very good.
It's a good kick, yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Jesus, did you get? Let's see what Jesus's reaction. No, now we want to get you doing it now. Okay.
Oh,
So, now I'm so eager to taste this.
Now, this tastes like regular sugar.
This
More
tastes like regular
yeah,
sugar.
more like
Tastes
regular
even more like
Yeah,
regular
yes.
sugar.
Sweet.
So this way you're getting a healthy sugar without damaging yourself.
Why
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
come out
the
with
sweetness
some
is right there.
Protein bar with this sugar.
Oh, we're going to put in a protein bar. Oh yeah, we're going to come out with a protein bar called Power Protein Bars.
With that this sugar.
Power protein bars.
Instant,
Now
it
let's get
gives
yours, yeah.
Instant energy. Very
That's
good.
right. Well, that's exactly what
the
we're going to do.
grains are much smaller and they dissolve quicker in my mouth.
dissolve,
number one.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like of all the three sugars, it's like picking who's the best among your children.
Yeah.
They're all good to a different effect. This dissolves instantly in my mouth as soon as it touches my tongue.
Yeah.
But it's close, very close to almost powdered sugar. The
Right.
flavor I got.
See, this will be
Very
different textures. Different, so we've got.
Texture is very fine.
You like it.
Very fine.
You like it.
Which one do you like the most out of all three?
Power sugar.
You like it?
He like. See, Dr. Conti and I both like the Power Sugar best. Most people like the Sweet Day better. Yeah, we did a lot of research. People love the Sweet Day, but the Power Sugar we will put in a candy bar because we're going to call it a Power Protein Bar. Yeah, now.
Dr. Nerenberg, let me ask a question. The last sugar, because the grains are so much softer in power, does that alter its cooking points or anything?
Well, you have basically 20-degree lower melting point of the combination. Yeah, we've got about 20-degree lower melting point. So the ovens have to be adjusted for the lower.
Even though it's
bake-
more powdery in the grains,
I like it.
that's all. I
Just a minute. It's about 20 degrees lower.
That's cool.
I like the
you're-
cinnamon
Made
better.
You like the cinnamon the best.
Yeah.
So you like the cinnamon Sweet Day the best.
Yeah.
And which one you like
He
the
likes the
best?
power sugar.
Cinnamon and
You like the cinnamon sugar and the
Power.
power sugar. Jesus, which one you
What
like
you
the
mean?
best?
I
The
forgot.
power sugar.
You like the power
Quite
sugar
a
the
while
best.
she made
Power
them.
Now, which one did you like the
Last year.
best?
The best one, the sweet day.
You like the Sweet Day. So you see a variety of expressions. You can see that people like it. You heard the expression, it's like regular sugar, which is the sucrose, the cane sugar that we have, the table sugar. So it doesn't have the aftertaste. This was the real test. I mean, hearing the health benefits is great, but if something doesn't taste good, who's going to want it? Everybody loves it. Again, we had it tested in a variety of situations. We had bakers putting it into pastries, creams. We had it put into, particularly the paste, when you have the cream in a pastry with this, that's unbelievably good. The ice cream, we had somebody make ice cream by hand. It was superb. So the potential in terms of taste and health is unsurpassed, keeping in mind that the combination is far more powerfully healthy than either component alone, and the combination is even tastier than each component alone. So that's why the patent is on the blend. I want to reiterate that it raises the pH in the mouth. If we become less acidic, most people are too acidic, so this helps alkalize it, and it helps. And Bacteria cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. As a matter of fact, cancer can't even thrive in an alkaline when it's more alkalized. It needs an acidic environment. It needs glucose to thrive. So we're also helping to prevent or even help reduce the spreading of cancer. If somebody, God forbid, has cancer, they could still have this sugar without damaging themselves. So they don't have to give up eating delicious foods. They just have to have this sugar as opposed to the cane sugar as opposed to the sucrose. So it's good even for people with cancer.
Now, this, my mom had cancer, and this was never ever told to me about sugar. And
You will not find any allopathic physician of traditional medicine today that you see. You will find nobody who will talk to you about xylitol or D-ribose. You will not find any of your dentists even telling you go to xylitol. This is a tremendous medical travesty. Some do, very few. You've probably not met one that would.
Only Dr. Duncan.
We're talking dentists and MDs. Dentists and MDs who practice allopathic medicine. I'm sure none of you have heard xylitol, D-ribose, and there are products available. They could be telling you for your teeth, chew Biotine gum, chew Trident gum. It's available. The dentists, with very few exceptions, are telling us about it. It's a medical travesty at this time. Eventually, this sugar will dominate the sugar market, totally take it over. So it will take it over. There are economic interests, there are lobby interests, and so forth. But eventually, there's good money that the manufacturers could make and so forth. Their profits could still be there without damaging people. So eventually, the sugar manufacturers will behave with social responsibility, will not diminish their profits. Keep in mind, though, this sugar is a little bit more expensive than sucrose, the table sugar. It is a bit more expensive. People have to spend a bit more to have this sugar. But to spend a little bit more and not poison yourself, to spend a little bit more and add to your health, it's a wonderful trade-off. Tremendous benefits. Basically, as more people use this, our healthcare expenses as a nation and as a world will go way down.
You think this is
There'll be fewer cavities, dental costs will go down. Costs for all the treatment of diabetes, which is on rampant, which leads to cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, and strokes, will be tremendously reduced. So we're talking about an enormous impact on medical expenses and the use of insurance policies and insurance premiums that have to keep going up because of the rampant obesity and diabetes. This won't add to the diabetes, it won't add to the obesity, it won't promote cardiovascular disease, it'll do all the opposite of those things. So we're talking about an economic spin-off that over a period of time will save trillions of dollars and enormous suffering in humanity. Most people like sugar. I mean, a child tastes it, I mean, they crave it. They want sugar in everything. They want something sweet. They get hooked. It's almost like an addiction that starts in childhood. So if we're going to get people addicted, because the body needs that sugar, likes the taste, let's give sugar that promotes health, heart health, weight control, oral health, weight loss. If you go into any grocery store, Ralph's, doesn't matter which one, anybody that carries groceries, Albertsons, doesn't matter who, you have whole aisles filled with cereals, most of them filled with sugar. And that's, as was said, how they captured the children's market. Advertisements are incredible. They look so delicious. And they get all the kids on these sugar cereals. Killing the children for profit. Murder, legalized murder for profit. Now, the sugar manufacturer can say, if we didn't kill anybody, we're not damaging, just use it in moderation. The problem is there's so many factors that practically addict people to it, so they're not controlling themselves. Therefore, when we switch to this sugar, you can still have all those cereals on the shelves, all the ketchups that have sugar, salad dressings with sugar, all of it could all remain on the shelves, all be profitable to the manufacturers, but become healthy instead of damaging. And if it could even have some amount of sucrose because it does mix with the sweet day, does mix with the powdered sugar. So I know that the industry will eventually turn to being socially responsible. There's no doubt about it. Also, the public more and more is demanding healthy foods. And as a nation, we cannot continue with the skyrocketing health costs. The health care that we have is astronomical, a tremendous percentage of our budget. We can't go on. It will force the economics of it. Forget about even social responsibility or care about humanity. The economics of this will drive industry towards a healthy sugar because the healthcare costs, we can't contain it. We're going to have to, we will turn more to prevention. The cane fields can continue to go on because we can mix it, but we won't have to be destroying people, and our healthcare costs will come way down, tremendously reduced. I was at a restaurant. This young man was with 4 children. He was eating pancakes. And we were talking, it turns out his blood sugar was 300. 300. Eating white flour, which is not good for him. Then he poured syrup all over it. And I said, hey, bro, I don't mean to interfere with your life, but you told me you diabetes. He said, yeah. You know what he said? He said, I can't resist it. I can't resist it. And he ate it. Afterwards, his son came over and hugged me for telling his father, taking that interest. I can't resist it. A grown man with children whose early demise would be a tremendous disaster to lose their father. That's why they thank me, so we want to keep our father. That's what we're dealing with. Now, if it had sucrose in that syrup, and by the way, there are syrups with xylitol in it, but we could be having Sweet Day, which is even healthier. He could pour all he wants without damaging himself. That's the good news. Well, our time's coming to an end. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for participating in basically the revolution of the sugar industry, the beginning of a wave of healthy sugar throughout the world. It's been my privilege to invent this and share this with you and to have your feedback. Thank you.